Hi everybody, this is Harmony from Harmony Stitches and welcome back to my channel. Or if this is the first time that you're stopping by to visit me, welcome, and I hope that you all find something to inspire you to either get crafting again or to get started for the very first time. And this is a bonus cut video to show you everything that I have finished in the first 6 months of 2021. There's quite a bit. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump in so that way we're not here all day. First, I'm gonna start off with knitting. No particular order. I have no notes of what I finished when. Knitting is a little bit easier, but the cross stitch, I have no idea. So the first thing I have for knitting is this little baby wrap, and it's for photo shoots. And for those of you that have been with me for a while, you will notice that yes, I still have not wove in my ends or blocked this and given it to the recipient. I'm going to do that this weekend. It got put in a bag, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. So I'm gonna do it. This is knit out of Malabrigo. I have no idea what base or what color. The tags have long since disappeared. I wish I did know because this is a really pretty color. There's all kinds of blues, purples, and even some greens in there. So that's number one. Number two is the Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague. And this is basically knit in a big long tube. And you start with increases, then you get to the end of the increases and you knit, 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 knit. And then you do decreases like a toe of a sock. And then what happens, you just take one end, fold it in kind of like a corner of a folded sheet, and then you have your stocking cap. And the pattern is really neat and helps you with gauge, so you can use whatever base and needle size you need to get your gauge. You don't really have to get gauge to match her, but she tells you what you have to do to get the hat to fit. And then you can either wear it like this or you could fold the brim up like I had it. So I knit this one for my husband. I do have another one on the go for myself. I did make notes of everything that I did finish. And for the knit-a-thon in April, I did do 6 dishcloths. So those are gone to the winner of that contest. And then I knit 3 other sets of dishcloths, and those are off to the customers as well. And then I have socks for summer sock camp, and I'm just going to quickly go over these for any new viewers, because if you've been with me, you've seen these for the last couple weeks. This is Brediculous yarn in fingering weight. The colorway is a quote from Hocus Pocus, something about, oh, look, it's another glorious morning. And it's by Winifred from the movie. So that's number one. And all of these items, except for the baby wrap, you can find the product pages or project pages on my Ravelry, and that will be linked below. So you can always go check out the information in case I forgot to say something. This is my first socks by Marley Bird. This is using the Chic sheet by Marley Bird yarn. It's a worsted weight, superwash merino wool. This colorway is Regal. I happen to use a size 5 knitting needle. I did these on DP ends. So that's sock pair number 2. Number 3 is Vanilla Souffle, which of course will be linked below. I cannot remember for the life of me the designer's name. It always slips my mind. And this I used the Colorway earmuffs from the Quotable Dumbledore Yarn Club from lolodidit. And it has a really cute pattern on the top of the foot and the front of the leg. Those ones and the Brediculous socks I knit on 9-inch circular. And then I have another pair of my first socks by Marley Bird using Chic Sheep by Marley Bird. This is the Suede colorway. And for these ones, I actually switched to a 9-inch circular in size 5. And I got these done the other day. So that's all of the knitting finishes. I have quite a few knitting projects in the works, and hopefully I will Sorry about that. I knocked something down. Hopefully we'll get to those as the year continues to progress. Okay, so now I have just 3 cross stitch pieces that are ready for display. I'm just looking around the room here. I do have several others that I did get ready for display, but either I gave them as gifts or they were stitched prior to January 1st. So for the ones that I gave for gifts is Chicken Love and Chicken Joy, both by Stitching with the Housewives, and I'll insert a picture here so you can see what those look like. I gave those as a gift toward the beginning of the year. So that's actually 2, but then I have 3 here with me. This one is Beehives Matter by the Nebby Needle. And I used the called for floss and the called for fabric. I found this little plaque from the Dollar General, actually. I'm in Michigan and we have those all over the place. And it has some saying on the wood piece, but I didn't, it was the perfect size. And I didn't use any backing fabric or anything because I thought the colors of that wood piece matched pretty well to the colors in the stitching. So that is usually displayed in our kitchen because I'm decorating it with bees. The next is the small piece from Liberty Chalk Fold Jar by Hands On Design. And I finished this on 28 count black Monaco. That's what I stitched on, using the DMC conversion that's called for on the chart. And this is a Pioneer Woman little stand that I found at Walmart last year, and I thought that it worked perfectly. It is a little bit wider than the piece. This flower kind of rotates a little bit. But I thought that it looked cute, and I currently have that downstairs on one of our bookshelves because 4th of July is coming up. And the last one is Bigfoot Bunch, which was my secret stitch for Father's Day. I stitched this for my husband. This is 28 count Monaco. I don't know the colorway. I think it's antique white because the ivory has more of a buttery cream undertone to it. Using mostly the called for colors. All of the leaves are outlined in a green, and I switched that out for something I had in my stash because the LNS was out of that color. I switched the black, which was supposed to be coffee something. And black coffee, I think it's called. Anyway, I don't have any of the charts in front of me. So I can't remember. I had coal from Weeks Dye Works on hand, so I just substituted that out so that way I didn't have to buy another fancy floss. And then the hands, feet, and faces were a different color, but it didn't work out. I can't remember exactly why now, so I went to the store and I just found one that matched the, kind of coordinated with the color of the Bigfoot, because that's DMC 3790, and I had to buy that skein anyway, so I figured that I could just go ahead and match it up right there in the store. All right, so now for my huge pile of cross-stitch finishes that need to be mounted and ready for display. As I said in my last video, as I find pieces and finishing pieces and ideas, then I will continue to get them ready. But for now, they sit here and they wait. So this is the pillow from Let's Talk Autumn. I have the other 2 pieces finished from last year, but this is the pillow version. And this is on 28 count black Monaco using all of the called for DMC flosses. That's number 1. Number 2 is one of the ornaments from Starry Night by Prairie Schooler, and they use DMC, and so I used that. It said you could use a DMC gold or the Krynic. I chose the Krynic, which I will not do again on 18 count Ada. This is 18 count oatmeal Ada. I just got this from a big box store. So I'm almost done with the Starry Night. I just have a few more, but the LNS was out of the Krynic, and so I just need to get more because that's all I have to do is the Krynic and the back stitching on the last ones. This is Impossible Odds by the Whistle Stop Stitcher. This was a free chart that she was offering. This is a quote from former President Barack Obama. In the face of impossible odds, people who love their country can change it. And regardless of your political views and who you voted for presidency when he was running, I think this quote really does reflect our country's origins, even because the people that lived here wanted to change it, and so they did. This one is stitched on, I believe, 18 count white Aida. No, 18 count, I think it's 20 actually, 20 count white Aida. And I just pulled the colors from my stash to match what she called for in her pattern. You really only need 4 colors, the red, blue, white, and a gray or black, or whatever color you want the words to be stitched. And I actually decided to skip the white stitching in the flag. I just left them because the stitches on the Aida are so small anyways. I felt that it wasn't necessary. Okay, so next up is Hello Fall from Stitching with the Housewives. I should use my notebook because the light shines through the fabric, doesn't it? One moment. Okay, so Hello Fall, Stitching with the Housewives, 28 count black Monaco. And for this one, I just pulled colors out of my stash. From all of the fall stitching that I have done, I've accumulated a lot of colors. So I just pulled them and put them where I felt they were best suited. I tried to match them up, like if there was a green leaf, I tried to match the green leaf and so on. But if it didn't match up exactly, I wasn't stressing about it. Okay, so this one is His Name is Jesus by Joyful Expressions. She charts this into blues or mauves, and I chose teals because that's the colors that I'm choosing to decorate and accessorize within our living room. This is 28 count Monaco. I believe in the antique white, but I can't be for sure. All right, these next 4 are all in a little series by the Prairie Schooler. They are Halloween pieces. They're on 14 count white Aida using mostly the called for floss. I know a lot of people are really traditional and don't believe in changing the colors for the floss on Prairie Schooler, but when you have to, you have to. So the first one is Misfortune, and this is all the called for floss. Again, however, I did not stitch the crystal ball or her eye because myself and my family thought that it was perfectly fine the way that it was without having to do all of that extra stitching. Next is Who's There? Now this is one that I did change the colors. The lawn and the roof pieces of the house were supposed to be in a brown color. I don't know the number offhand, and I chose to do it all in black. I saw Nell from Little Yellow House Crafts do the same thing, and I thought, I want to do that. So that's what I did. And then the next one is Knock Knock. And this one, I believe, is all the called for colors, which is only 2, is the black and the orange. And Double Double. Now this is the called for colors except for the smoke coming out of the cauldron, or the steam as it is. I just chose a light gray that I already had in my stash. I don't remember what color it was supposed to be, but other than that, it's all the same as the pattern calls for. You know what? That really wasn't that many. I only have one left. It was just a big one. This is a sale that started, a stitch along that started on September 15th. I learned about it from Mischievous Stitches here on YouTube. And it is the 12 Days of Christmas, which is a mystery stitch along. that was a couple years old from Plum Street Samplers. They're still available on her blog. You can go and download them as individual charts or as one great big chart. I did stitch it on one big piece of fabric, but as you will see, I spaced them apart so I can cut them and turn them into individual ornaments. So we have first day, second day, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then we have seventh back up on top with the swans, 8 maids of milking, 9, and then I turned it upside down so it was easier for me to hold the fabric, 10 lords a leaping, 12 drummers drumming, and the 12th, oh my gosh, I can't read it. I thought that was the 12th day, but it's the 11th day. 12 drummers drumming. Oh my heavens. But that is the whole project. I don't even think I'll be able to get, oh, there we go, the whole thing on one screen. So that actually did take me some time. I had quite a few of the blocks done prior to January 1st. I kind of got burnt out on it. Some of the pieces I felt were a little fiddly and took a lot of time, but I just, it came up in my whip wheel at least once, and then what happened was I had a little extra time, or I was really close to finishing, so I just said, okay, before I start whatever came up on the whip wheel this week, I'm just going to go ahead and finish that up. And that's how I finished a few of these ones this year, is I just kept going. So, and that is all that I have finished stitching, either by knitting or cross stitch. You know what? No, that's not true. I have a crochet finish. Just one moment. Okay, for crocheted finishes, it's small. It's the Amigurumi Norwal from Red Heart. They came out with these little cakes of yarn that is enough to do at least 2. I found with my gauge I can probably do 3 or 4. I've only done the 1. I made this one for my daughter, and it's from the gray. There's some teals and green in the pattern as well that you could use to make a striped one. I do believe that there's enough yarn in there where if your gauge is small enough, you could actually do solids in those colors as well. And then this is just a toothpick that's wrapped in some of the white yarn with some glue. I think I can't remember what kind of glue I used, if I used super glue or what, I can't remember. And then those are little safety eyes. You can get packs of those from anywhere. So that was my crochet finish. So now that is all of the stitching that I have completed, knitting, crochet, and cross stitch from January 1st through today, June 30th. I hope to have lots more finishes to show you as the weeks come. I will be back with a normal video, a regularly scheduled video on July 11th through July, maybe beginning of August. I will be here every 2 weeks, and then return to weekly videos on Sundays after that. So I hope that you enjoyed this little video to recap all of the stitching that I got done. Until I see you again, have a great week, and I hope that you work on some projects. See you next time.